Hi.
Hey, Henry.
Hello.
Hello, Janice. Leslie.
Hello, Janice, and hello, Leslie, too. I can't see you guys, but I recognize your names.
We're here.
Miriam.
Hey, Janice, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks.
Miriam.
Hi, Greg.
Hey, Miriam. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Did you go out with a ruler in your backyard? Dragged up.
What was that? Been
Did
walking
you
about?
go out with a ruler?
No, I think I'm safe, but I'll abstain from that particular vote just to be on the safe side. And we don't need every commissioner to vote. We just need a majority, so that should be okay.
Well, we may have an issue
Oh, yeah.
because we need 4 votes.
Okay. Well, you know,
But I think that the issue is, yeah.
well, I mean, I've been looking at the map for it's the Pratt Corner East.
Yeah, it's not, it's the whole parcel. So ZG2 is the whole parcel.
ZG2, correct.
Yeah.
It's the one I'm looking at. Fortunately, these aren't incredibly easy to read.
You know, some of these maps you can kind of figure out distances.
Right, and I seem to be well out of well more than 300 feet from the project.
From the boundary of ZG2?
Yes,
Okay. Then you're okay.
it would appear to be to me.
Okay. Then you don't have to recuse yourself.
Abstain, right?
So that's good.
Good.
I was just looking for that. I have a paper copy of that disclosure of appearance of conflict of interest, but it looks like you were able to type it in somehow. Were you able to find it? I just Googled it and it gives me the citations, but I don't see the form.
I emailed everybody a Word doc form.
Oh, I didn't see
Was
that.
it Word? Was it
I
Word?
just sent it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed a mistake.
So what I learned, I maybe we should hold off.
Yeah, we have Mary Lou, and Ezel, who are not yet here.
Okay,
And
yeah,
Karen, actually, Karen.
Repeat what we say.
sure.
Hi, Leslie.
Okay.
She's muted.
I am just listening, but I'm here if you need me for anything.
We might.
I'll mute for now.
We have Florinina on the line.
Hi, Zell.
Hi.
Hey, Ezel.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah, this is my little buddy Ezra. His mom's gonna pick him up any minute.
Ezra.
Anna and Brian.
would that be a Bender boy?
A Bender boy. What is your name? Ezra Bender. Is it? What? We're just getting used to this. What is your name or who? Yeah, right. What is your name? What do you say? Do you say Mazel? That's not your name. What's your name?
No.
Oh, now he's being all shy. That's okay. It's okay. You gotta find that. So, do we have our whole gang?
No, we're waiting here.
Okay.
I think we have Mary Lou.
Okay, I'm gonna just mute and stop the video while I go run and look for his Lego guy before he leaves on a trip.
Okay.
I'll be like, it's like 1 minute.
Is that Mary Lou?
Is that-
Okay. Whoops, I'm off mute.
Oh,
Hi, hi.
hi. Okay.
All right, let me put the video. There we
There you
go.
are. There you
Here I
are.
am.
Okay. We have one more Karen. I gave her all the information, all the paperwork, so she's up to
Thank you.
speed. I hope she remembers.
I don't think we should wait because
Yep.
it's already 3:06.
Give me 1 minute. I have something on the burner. I just realized.
Oh, that's important.
Okay.
There we are.
All right. So let's call the meeting to order. Uh, um, there is a bit of well, business that we realized we need to attend to, and you've all received copies of this form. Uh, we thought maybe we could fill those out now, so that we can vote on the report.
Well, people only have to fill them out if they're in a butter,
If you're in a butter, thank you.
near a butter, or if you have some other appearance of a conflict of interest. So an appearance of a conflict of interest would be a situation in which a reasonable person might conclude that you have some sort of bias toward either Coles or AMP.
Well, we use the sun.
Say what?
We use the sun. So conflict of interest.
Yeah, we
Otherwise-
have a conflict of interest there.
Otherwise, I
That's
have
right.
got no financial interest in it.
So just because I filed an appearance of a conflict of interest form when I was appointed last year, because years ago I had been an outspoken opponent of the Wheelock Tract solar project, and I was, very publicly outspoken about it. And so I filed an appearance of a conflict of interest disclosure. It's not a real conflict of interest, as long as I put my signature on the statement saying that I think that I can be impartial and fair. But I guess everybody has to decide for themselves what risk they want to take if they've been outspoken in some way in the past.
Okay, so I just spent about 15 minutes on the phone with the attorney on call with the State Ethics Commission. And he totally agrees with what you just said, Miriam. And because I too protested the first installation over Native American burial places, and was outspoken, although I was standing there with signs, not really using my voice. At any rate, I too am going to file this 23B3 form that took like half an hour to find.
Well, I just forwarded everybody a Word.
Thank you. Yeah, yes. If anybody's looking for it, I was going to say it's number 7 on that big list once you get
So,
there.
How long Sorry, go ahead, Mary.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I had filed it earlier, as you suggested, Miriam, when I first became like an official commissioner able to vote. I was an associate for quite a while, but after speaking with the attorney, I wasn't directed where it was supposed to land. So that one I gave to the town clerk, and now back to the ethics people. And he said neither place was the proper, neither place was the proper landing for that form. So I'm doing it again as well. Thank you.
I think
It has
Grace,
to go, I'm sorry, it has to go to select board.
right. Grace, I think, likes to get them as well for some reason.
Ah,
So
okay,
I have CC'd her, but technically she's not the one.
very good. Okay.
Isel, did you get the gist of that little discussion there? Did
Did I catch it? We just couldn't find the Lego guy. It could cause a meltdown, but I'm hoping not. So
no, but,
I'm talking like it won't. So his mom will bring lots of extras.
yeah.
So no, I didn't. I heard a little bit of what Mary Lou said about registering somehow.
Yeah, yeah, a form 23B3. Can you make a Lego replacement?
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Isel,
you can take them apart and put them together in a million ways.
Isel, you are not in a butter, Isel.
Looks like not. I mean,
You're not.
I'm offset from Carver.
And
Yeah.
okay, and this is just an exercise in
Oh, identifying where you are and
where you are,
yeah, that makes
most
sense.
fundamentally.
Yeah.
They have kids.
Do you
So-
have kids?
I do.
Do I?
I do.
They have kids. She does.
Yes.
She does, and Greg does too.
Have a
That's your mom. I have to deliver the boy. I'll be right back. Sorry,
Right.
he's late.
So Henry, you said that you wanted us to fill them out. I just filled mine out.
Yeah.
But I would send it to the select board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fill it
So
now.
Janice, so the way it was on, let me just explain what I was told today.
Okay.
Okay. So you have, if you're in a butter, you have to do two things. You have to file a Form 19B where you declare that you have a conflict of interest per this requirement about, you know, if you're in a butter, you're presumed to have a financial interest, or even if you're a near a butter, if you're within 300 feet of the property boundary. If your property boundary at the closest point is within 300 feet, then you're still in a butter.
Mhm, okay.
So that's the 19B form, which is just basically saying, I have this conflict, this presumed conflict of interest based on being in a butter to this particular parcel. You name the parcel, and I will recuse myself. And that's all you have to do. And you sign it, or you can digitally sign it and send it in a PDF to the select board.
Okay.
It's
And
easier.
CC, I'm sorry, you had advised to CC Grace.
I think you should also CC the historical commission, so we have them on.
That's a
So-
good idea too.
So technically,
So that was
is
that, so that was thing number one.
Yeah.
So I'll go on to thing number two, but any questions about that?
well, Isel missed that. You're not in a butter.
She's not in a butter, so that
Oh.
piece doesn't matter.
Okay.
So it only matters for Janice, for me, Karen. It sounds like Greg, you are not, you think you're more than
Either of them?
300 feet.
I'm okay.
You're okay, so you're not in a butter. So we're only talking about Janice, me, and Karen, who's not here, right?
Okay.
All right.
So then part two of that
Second.
is that you file a 23B3 form, which is the appearance of a conflict of interest.
Okay. Yep.
And in that form, you say, I have a conflict of interest with, for example, parcels ZG2. the same landowner and developer are proposing solar projects on these 4 other parcels. I would list the names of the parcels,
Okay.
which I think I emailed to everybody.
Mhm.
Because a reasonable person might think that if I have a conflict of interest with one parcel, I might have a bias with the others. I'm
Oh,
filing this form to say that I
oh,
believe I can be fair and impartial with those 4 other parcels. And then
okay,
sign it, and then that's all you need to do. You turn that
okay.
in, and you're good to go with the 4 other parcels.
So for the people who are not abutters, we filed the 23B3, list all 5 parcels and explain our outspokenness or what say you for Cole's first solar project, correct?
Oh, but if you've gone on to social media and you've said anything about these current projects, you
On the
might,
current ones, that's right, you're right. Yes. Okay, I get it.
So I'm sorry, would you back up then? What happens if you've said something on social media? You can't do anything?
well, what I'm saying is if you have, you should probably file a disclosure form saying a reasonable person might think that I have a bias,
That's
but
right.
but I promise to be fair and impartial.
That's right, Miriam. And that was explained to me, Azal. I was sharing earlier when you were tending to your child, that the attorney that I spoke with gave me the same advice that yes, you should file the 23B3 and that it should go to the select board. And we are now discussing a copy to us and Grace. She is the town clerk. Yeah,
Okay,
That-
right.
that's good. Thank you.
And you just sent that, Miriam, right?
Yeah.
That last email about sending to the select board?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
well,
just saw that.
there's a
So-
model there, but it's
If you
quite
guys
elaborate.
want to take a few minutes,
Yes.
pull up the forms and do the 23Bs. And just send them on to then you're good to go.
So what's the timing on this?
You should probably do it before you vote,
When is voting?
Today?
like now, whenever.
No.
meeting.
I
Thank
can go
you.
to
Listen,
computers.
I just got my driveway repaired,
Oh.
$1,300 later.
Let me get in.
Do you have access to a
Unusable.
computer? You're on a computer or?
Yeah, my house, I'm fine, but it just got finished. So
You
it's
don't
been
have to
days.
do anything, just pull up the form and add your name and
Right.
whatever way you need to tweak it.
Uh-oh.
I just maybe we could walk people through it to help you
So
before.
the form is on the email, is that right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm
That's
fine. I think I can do it. We don't need to take the time if you don't want to.
Well, we can't
Oh.
vote, Zell, until it's done it.
Oh, I need to do that before I can vote on this meeting. I got it. Got it.
Yes. Miriam, what is
A
the,
little while.
what
sorry.
is agency department? Is that
I
Shutesbury,
just put town of Shutesbury.
town of Shutesbury?
Well, Mary Lou, did you see the forms that I sent? Because I kind of filled that out.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a model, there's a model,
I
Mary Lou.
filled it out, Mary Lou, with most of the language. You just have to tweak it.
All
Yeah,
right.
you have to put
Oh.
in which parcel you're adjacent to or whatever.
Mary Lou's
but-
not, Mary Lou's is a little different because she's not in a
Yeah.
butter. All she's
Yeah.
saying is, something about her past advocacy and her ability to remain neutral and impartial. That's
Yeah.
really all you
Yeah.
have to say, Mary Lou. Keep it
I
simple.
mean, one quick way to do it might be to just take Miriam's, delete anything that's not relevant and add stuff.
Right.
So, okay, I've got mine up. So I just fill it in
I'm getting mine. Uh-oh.
and it has to be printed and signed.
No, Mary, it
No?
can just be emailed as a PDF.
So I don't have to sign. I can just
Well,
type it in.
Put it
Well,
in.
you could probably, unless you want to, I mean, I have a photograph of my signature that I use, but if you just want to type it in, I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. I do somewhere. I'm not sure where I put
I
it.
got it.
yeah.
So I have a couple questions about the 23B, how to fill out part of it. I have the one that, is partially filled out, but
Well, Let me pull it open so I can
Okay.
know where to look at. Okay, go ahead, Jen.
Okay, the bottom of the first page, the last block. So my property at, and I put 321 Montague Road, abuts parcel ZD 37. And then the next line, parcel XXS is the site of the Wheelock track.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was for me.
Okay, because I was gonna say that doesn't really deal with me, I don't think. Okay, so I can
Just
take
say
that.
parcel is the site of a proposed,
Okay,
you would say is parcel XXX is the site.
okay, ZD 37 in my
Proposed.
case.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
all
I
right.
wasn't quite sure what to do there.
No, that was,
So,
So,
did this in a hurry.
oh, I'm sorry, Janice. So do I leave agency address, phone, email as the town clerk?
Do you see the blank form I circulated? It was already filled out, Gazelle.
I've got one that's
Partial.
partially filled out. Agency address says 1 Cooleyville Road, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Right?
Yeah,
But
that's
it
what-
didn't, one
I
of them doesn't have the phone and email, office phone and email.
I
on
just
it.
put the town clerk.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I didn't know what to do on that.
So I'm saying, do you want me to leave it as is, or do I put my email on there?
I think you leave it as is.
Okay.
It's for the
Yeah.
agency's contact, not your contact.
So I have a question, Miriam. What I'm opening is the one that you filled. I don't see a blank one.
It's
How's
Separate
blank, it's
email.
blank in that I took out a bunch of identifying information and you can modify it, Mary Lou.
Yeah,
Oh, so I take out the thing about my property, blah, 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 abuts.
Right.
Yep.
I
Take all that
take
out.
that out. You know, it might be good to go place by place, but
Okay, why don't we just go through it? Okay, the
Okay.
first section, put in your name.
Which,
Got it.
which form?
We're on 23B3.
Okay,
Put your name in.
so I'm unable to because it is already, it has your name on it. And on my computer,
Well,
it's
Mary
open.
Lou, I sent it in a Word form. You're looking at the wrong document. I sent one after that, that was in Word.
Oh, you sent one after
you
that.
can, yeah, you can edit the Word one.
Really? I don't,
Yep, yeah.
I don't know where that is.
It's the, okay.
You can
the
change
most
it later.
recent, I think
Henry, could you
it,
just send it to her again?
it
At
says
3:02 PM, I have it, but it's coming up. Oh, this one? Oh, wait a minute. No,
Send-
it has your
Henry,
name.
Henry, could
And-
you just send her the Word doc again?
This one came at 3:02 PM. It says name of public employee. And it has- Miriam, I'm unable to erase it. I'm sorry.
Henry, could you just send her the Word doc? Because I'm not logged out of my email right
Oh,
now.
you talking to me? Yep,
Yeah, Henry.
sure. Yep, that's me. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
I did get it sent by
I
the,
sent it at 3:55, 2:55. I sent this to people. I'll send it again.
yeah,
that's-
I have it.
I got it. I got it here. I'll forward. I'll just forward the email to Mary Lou.
Yeah.
yes, thank you. That's quite
it-
incredible of your timing, Miriam, because at 2:55 PM, I got it sent to me by the attorney of the day at the ethics. Commission.
Anybody else need the form?
Nope,
No.
I've got both of them.
I
Okay.
have one that's filled out, so I'll just take out what's not applicable in it.
You got a Word doc, right?
Yeah,
Okay, you're good.
yeah.
Oh, there it is. Here's another one. But
I
that's,
just sent it.
thank
yep.
you. 23B, Word doc.
There you go.
See, my computer is not letting me, edit in browser. I'm sorry. I don't use this quite often.
Download it first.
Yes, I did. Thank you, I'm there. All right. Oh, wow. Thank you, Miriam.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
It's all filled out.
Yeah, except you have to change some things. So let's just walk through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so put in your name, Mary Lou,
I did.
then scroll down and it says, describe the issue that's coming before you.
Okay.
And that you can leave. You don't have to change that.
Right? What about in my capacity? Oh, they filled that in.
What?
That
No,
Yeah,
in my
leave that.
capacity
Leave
as a
that.
yeah, because they filled that in, correct?
Right. Now you're going to go down to the section, Mary Lou, where it says explain your relationship to the organization. Okay.
Blaine. Okay. Oh, my property does not. Okay.
Take that out.
Yeah.
And then you can take all of that out, Mary Lou, and just write a statement,
Yeah.
whatever it is you want to say.
Okay. Thank you. I get it.
Okay. So it's worded as if you were in a butter, but you're
So we
not
don't leave any of that because this is all from the point of view of an abutter.
in that paragraph. You would leave it all out.
Well,
Except,
so yeah.
except that last paragraph.
Which says, while I am recused.
No, there's another paragraph on the next page.
Oh, a reasonable person who understands that all 5 projects might conclude that I might act in a biased manner toward the other 4 projects.
Well, not the other 4, it would be to the projects.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. I have to change. I'm just wanting to be specific.
So what you would say is a reasonable person who understands that all 5 projects are being proposed by the same parties might conclude that I might act in a biased manner toward the projects because of, and then you finish that with whatever it is, because of my past advocacy, because of my social media comments, whatever it is you want to say.
Right. Whoops.
My interest in science of climate change.
Whatever whatever it is you want to say.
Knowledge.
Yep.
thank you for.
But nay, I am not biased. So, okay, I take the rest out. Sorry. The stuff that's just about the abutter.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
you take that all out.
Toward all 5 projects.
Yes.
Oh no, something happened.
Oh.
Explain your relationship or affiliation. Oh,
That's
something.
that's what you're doing right here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Something.
So this is where you describe what it is that would give the appearance of a conflict of interest, but isn't an actual conflict.
Should I leave that if my property is within 300 feet?
No,
I
because
won't leave
it
that.
doesn't
Okay.
apply to you.
Just a reasonable person. That's all I need there.
Right, you just take
Got
out
it.
all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Do we specifically say Wheelock, Henry? Do we say specifically the advocacy for Wheelock? Which
You could
was,
You could say that.
yeah, which was, and I'm calling her a lesser. I'm saying the lesser W.D. Coles due to former advocacy against the first solar project in Shutesbury, Massachusetts. Wheelock tract built over Native American burial places. Okay. When I am recused, we don't need that. Is that correct?
Right.
I'm not recusing. Not familiar with that word.
Recusing is when you abstain from voting because of you have a conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think I would have assigned something rather in here where I could like take a picture of my signature.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah, I've taken a screenshot of my signature to use when I need to digitally sign things, but I don't think it matters. You don't have to have it, as long as it's in a PDF.
Okay.
I think it'll be fine if you can save it in a PDF form
Okay.
once you're all done. Nobody's going to question whether you actually did this.
Yeah. All they have to do is come look at the video.
Yes, that's right.
You can type your name, actually, just type your name.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Type it.
And like a different.
Janice,
font.
you're all set with yours, right?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm just signing it. Yeah.
No, Janice,
Oh,
What about me?
are you all set with your paperwork?
Yes, yep, I'm changing them to PDFs.
Great. Just send it to historical too, so I have a copy of everything.
Okay.
Okay.
And town clerk, I mean, I think maybe if I put it in, it'll start filling in, but I'm not sure. Is it clerk at Shutesbury or town clerk? at
Town
Shutesbury?
clerk.
Town clerk.
Oh, send it to the select board also,
Okay.
so to
And-
town clerk and to select board.
and the historical commission.
Clerk and historical.
Three.
There's that one.
Brother. No pen is working.
So how do your official actions or decision matter to the person or organization? That's fine, as is?
I
Or do
guess
you-
the person or the organization, I guess I may have misread this. When they're saying the relationship to the person, you have the conflict. So yeah, I didn't do that right.
Oh,
Um, how does your actions matter?
okay, I'll put in
We'll
a.
take that out. I don't know how you interpret this. Leslie, maybe Leslie knows.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
mean,
your official
I-
actions to the town of Shutesbury or to the developer?
to the person or the organization. So that would be WD calls and AMP. And my actions would matter to that person because I would be stopping them from making money perhaps, but in those actions, protecting the greater community.
So,
I think that what they're asking here, Mary Lou, is
No,
for your official actions as a historical commission member matter. You are reviewing these solar sites for historical preservation purposes.
okay, okay.
There you go. That's appropriate, Mary Lou. I concur.
so
Uh-huh.
here's what I'm leaving it as. So that same question, as a voting member of this board, it is important I be able to participate in decision-making where I am impartial. This is especially, I'm just leaving it, on which I serve, need to make statutory quorum, may have vacancies or other recusals. These are volunteer boards, da, da, da. It's just straight line policy.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be all personalized.
yeah.
It's just
That's
saying this is our
Okay, so
policy.
maybe I did do it right.
Yeah, no, I took out both. I took out the word both of this board
Okay,
because
right.
there was nothing else called on.
That's because when I did it, I was also on the Conservation Commission.
I know. Listen, I don't know how your brain keeps it all straight anyway.
Oh,
It's
really?
amazing what you do. Really, really. Okay, so I signed it, then save it as a PDF.
Yep.
Okay.
And then send it to those three emails, Azelle, right now.
Yeah, I got it. I wrote those down. Okay.
Historical, select board, and town clerk.
Okay, let me just, okay, leave it to,
Okay, so I want to say, my actions or decisions would matter to the person or organization only as a matter of protecting historical sites and stone prayers. Is that too specific? That's all that would matter to those two people, the person, organization, person being Cole Cinda Jones, the organization being AMP. Does that make sense, Henry or Greg?
Well,
Or is that too debatable? Is that too much a debatable statement?
okay.
you're getting into a lot of detail
You're
Mm.
getting into a lot of emotional detail.
We do a lot of things. We do colonial, historical, we do all kinds of things here that will be of consequence. So in any case,
Can I
our-
say in colonial, comma,
you don't
historical?
need to get into so much detail.
Mary Lou,
Oh.
why don't you
What-
just say the commission is going to be reviewing the solar projects for historical preservation purposes.
Okay.
Period.
Historical preservation. Okay. Let me see. Um,
Getting the dual device going. Screen sharing.
oh, you got to do that?
Well, no, I'm pretending I have an iPad here. That's how I'm going to do the send because, yeah, I haven't gotten on anyway. It doesn't matter. It's going to
Okay.
work.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has to be sent from historical commission email, correct?
It has to be sent to.
To us, but from that particular email, that Gmail. It doesn't matter where it's sent from.
No,
No.
It could be my personal. Oh, okay.
it has to be sent to the
Yeah.
select board, the town clerk, and historical commission.
That's okay. Got it. Shall be done. Easier than what I was
Oh,
trying to do.
okay. So why can't we say historical preservation? We can't, I feel like I'm being asked to eliminate anything about Native Americans.
No, the point is, we don't need to get into so much detail. We do a lot of things on the commission here that relate to the solar assessment, right? It's up to you, I guess. It's up to her, right? Whatever.
So I'm sorry. Is Grace's email townclerk@shutesbury.org?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because mine still has Leslie's as it, but it doesn't really matter.
It's the name. Yeah, I don't know how to change the name. Mine says the same thing as
You have to go into your own address book and change it to Grace. The
Okay.
same townclerk@shutesbury.org.
But it doesn't matter,
dreadful.
right?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, good. I'll leave it for now.
Well, this is exciting, doing online forms prior to votes.
Oh,
And
Thank
historical.
goodness you partially filled them out for us. We'd be here an hour or more.
Well, you know, I got this call today from the attorney at the Ethics Commission, and she had followed up with her supervisor, and then so gave me this guidance, and I got this information at like 2:00. So
Wow.
So do I just call it disclosure form?
yeah,
So just hello, please find attached my disclosure form for the
Historical Commission,
from the historical commission.
or
sure.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I'd like to hear that, Greg.
What's that?
He's got a
Hi,
whistle.
Greg.
Is that a penny whistle?
don't mute it.
Say it again. A pet whistle?
He's shy about playing it.
Ah, Greg.
Gotta drink and
Oh,
stuff.
he's gonna play it while he's swallowing water, while he's drinking water.
You.
That was pretty tricky.
Right.
Attach. Okay, I'm about to be done. Done.
Okay.
Good. Thank you, everybody.
Ka-ching.
Very stressful. Sorry.
No, I'm glad. Thank you.
No, it's important
That's
that
so many things.
it's important that we do this all the right way.
Yeah.
Agree. All right, write an X to confirm the statement below, and then I sign it. As a voting member of both of this board, what does that mean?
It's because of my typo, Mary Lou.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just one board. I made a mistake.
And we all found it.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Okay, I'm just rereading it.
It's okay. So I could share cookies with you. I have homemade cookies.
Oh,
What kind?
Oh,
Over.
they're called no bake, which is oats, sesame
Oh.
tahini,
Oh, wow.
like butter, cocoa. They're like these, you cook them on the stove for a minute
Uh-huh.
and you scoop them out. You guys know them.
yeah.
I
those
made
are
them
great.
when I was 11. I won first prize in the county fair.
Oh,
I got $1.
Oh, my God.
and permanent fame.
So I've adapted them a lot. In fact, I didn't have any vanilla,
Mary
so I
Lou, are
put
you,
peppermint.
why don't we just
Oh,
stop?
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Stop me.
Mary Lou, are you?
over it, Sal.
How's
I'm
it
trying-
going?
The last two sentences. These are volunteer boards that require the active participation of as many members. I see to review because my actions would matter to the persons because the historical commission is attempting to protect historical, or I could say / colonial. Okay. COLONIAL, colonial and Native American cultural ceremonial stone landscapes in hopes for their preservation that may be found on their land or just period.
Well, that sounds a bit, yeah.
I want to
You don't want
mention,
to sound like an advocate,
oh,
at all in any way. So
but that's why I'm being called out to do this because I
yeah,
was,
I know, but this is not a place to be making points about your advocacy or anything like that. It's just a form, it gets through the system, you're able to vote. That's all that matters.
right. So this will get through the system as is, or am I being
You
asked?
don't, I mean, Mary Lou, you wouldn't want somebody to say, hey, she filed this, but the way she worded it makes it clear she doesn't really mean what she's promising. She's
Yeah,
you
they're
need partial.
they're asking me why my actions or decision might matter.
Because we need as
Yeah.
many participants on our board to be, it's a volunteer board.
Yeah, and presumably in an impartial manner. That's the whole point of this. The whole purpose of doing this is to point out that you will be impartial.
Right.
So any wording like hope or this or that, this doesn't belong there.
Okay, so I'll take out hope.
Yeah,
No hope.
I'm hopeless.
it's not relevant, to this exercise.
So I don't know how I have a share button, but I don't know about, would I go to share then to mail it out?
No.
Oh,
You would attach it in an email. Make it a PDF, Mary Lou.
it is a PDF, I think. And if it isn't,
It was in a Word doc. You have to save it as a PDF.
Yeah, save it as a PDF.
okay, Word. Then where's the save PDF? I
The
flung
file
my,
menu.
say what, Greg?
It would be in the file menu.
No, and I just brought down file and all file says is, wait a minute. Oh yeah.
Go to save as, and then it should.
Save as, yep.
Yep. And then at the bottom where it says Word document, you click on that and go down to PDF.
Save as, okay, wait a minute. Rename, download a copy, download as PDF. Save
Yes.
as
You didn't-
PDF.
You don't have
Okay.
to Yeah.
So I say your document is ready, download. Okay, where is it?
You're just saving that document as a PDF,
Is
right?
it disk 19 dash municipal financial interest new document? Is that it? Open file. No.
Yeah,
Which one?
when you're in save as,
Yes.
and then there's a bar there. It automatically is a doc. It'll say doc, but if you go to the right of that bar, and you, I believe that's how it works. You click there, it drops down a menu. The one of the options is PDF.
Okay.
You see that?
You see that under file format.
File format. Okay. Yes. Download as PDF. Download a copy of this document to your computer as a PDF file. I'm
That sounds
doing
good.
that 3 times, but then I don't know where it went.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be.
That's a big issue.
Your download folder.
In my download folder. Oh, I have to go
Oh.
back to that. Wait a
Oh
minute.
yeah, no, oh yeah, no, you have to, I think you need to save that document into your computer first.
Exactly.
Then,
Here it is. Here it is. Wait a minute.
you got it. All right, open it and check it.
What time is it? 3:46. I did it. It's not, no, I'm sorry. It didn't get in there.
Yeah, I think you need to save it as a Word doc first, right, to your computer, and then you save it as PDF. Then you go back to the file, what is the file? The
Folder.
file, the file where you saved. It should appear in the same file as the Word doc version
Okay.
of it. Yeah.
Michael, can you?
Another option, guys, she could just send it as a Word doc and we could save it as a PDF and send it back to her.
Yeah, that's yeah. You
Wait a
want,
minute.
just send it to me.
I can try.
Yeah, send it to me, and I'll.
The only way I know how to send it is copy and paste. And then it's come out all jagged, and sometimes they won't take those. Wait a minute, here I go. Copy.
And
Oh.
Did you sign it somehow too?
I just signed it. Thank you,
Okay,
Janet. I dropped the mouse. Sorry. Wait a minute. Oh, no, that never happened.
Did you send it then?
No, I dropped the mouse. It went
Oh.
through. It
Oh.
went through the. I'm sorry. It went through here.
The mouse got away.
Okay, no, I'm back. All right, now copy. Here we go. Copy. Go into my email. I have to exit out. Go to new message. Here it is. Copy, paste. Oh, it came out nice. Oh, really? It's in perfect form. I don't know if it will send
Excellent.
it. Yeah. Okay, so what is it called? Form 23. Wait a minute. Oh, they put B in column B, and then a 3 in, parentheses. Okay, and then I'll send it to Henry.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. All right, that should, oh, wait a minute. What's it say? You may have forgotten to attach a file.
Uh-oh.
Just send it. Did you get it?
Not yet. Did you send it to which email did you send it to? Which email address?
Yeah. Oh, it's in here in my sent file, 349. I sent it to your the SHC.
SHC. Okay, let me hold on. Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, it looks perfect. I think I could send this out now to the others, no? If, does it,
I got it. Oh, wait a minute.
can it go?
Um, I got it.
Ray, you can just send it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You speaking to me?
No, I just got it. I guess you sent it as a cut and paste. Okay, let me,
Exactly, because that's
Well,
the,
he still has to save it as a PDF.
yeah, no problem. No
it
problem.
is saved, Azelle. I just don't know how to find it. My husband will be able to find it after. Sorry.
Here we go.
So can that go on now, Henry, to select board and town clerk?
I think they want a PDF, correct?
Oh, I get it.
I think that, yeah. Let's,
Oh.
1 second.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll take 1 minute or two. Okay. Looking good. All right. Okay, I'm going to send it back to you as a PDF file,
Okay,
and you can send it along.
thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Mm, I always like to double check it because you never know with these things.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you're in business. I just sent it.
Okay, hasn't not come in yet.
Yep, take a minute.
I thought it only took 30 seconds.
Okay.
There it is.
All right.
All right. So this I forward on
Yep, to the
Yes.
3 addresses that you got there.
3.
Select board,
Yes.
town clerk, and historical commission.
I don't know that I have that address, if that will come up. Let's see. I've got select board. Got town. Okay, and then oh, I got them all.
You have them all?
Yes, I got them all. Thank you.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Wait a minute. And I send it along and it's a done deal, true?
Okay,
All
There
right.
go-
all right.
Good job, everybody.
Alrighty.
Very good. Excellent.
We just didn't want to have questions about these reports coming up later because we didn't do this the right way. So,
Right. Good.
Okay,
Okay, now, should we review the minutes?
yes, indeed. Everybody got a chance to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to approve those minutes.
Well, wait, let's see if
Yep.
anybody has any
Any
comments.
questions, comments?
I do. I think, Miriam, I think I may have sent it to you on the June 23rd minutes.
Yes.
I was put as absent, but then it listed that I entered 7:21 when the meeting began at 7:16. So I came in 5 minutes late, but I was in the I'm hearing an echo of my voice. I'm not sure what, but I was waiting room of that particular meeting all the while. So it just felt a little off for me to be listed under absent. So I don't know if you have a way to write that different. And then on one vote, my name didn't come up. So I mean, like in either no, I, or abstain. So I don't-
Okay. Well, I can put you, I'll move you to commissioners present and just say that you joined at 7:22, because you did join at 7:21. I mean,
Right.
you know,
Okay. Okay. I'm unaware of the point of entry to meetings is documented in minutes. This would be the first time I've seen it. Just,
I've done this before.
okay.
And we've actually had conversations about what time people came or what time people came or left.
Okay.
And the point being, you know, if you, to make sure how we have quorum, you need to know which commissioners are present when.
Thank you.
And can you show me where that your vote is missing? I don't.
Yeah. No, I didn't download the minutes, so.
It looks like I don't have you approving the minutes.
Okay.
And I don't know if you had joined by then or not,
Hmm.
because we had already started the meeting.
Okay, so that's quite possible.
So I think that's why you weren't on that vote. And then I don't have you, I have you on the next vote.
And from
And
on,
roll call, I don't have you the roll
Not
call,
on
so
the
I'll get,
motion to adjourn either.
yeah.
okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, I added that.
Thank you.
And any other questions on the minutes?
No.
I would just say that under that thing, approved minutes for 6/17/21, that there's an extra S in your last name, Henry.
Yeah, like goddess.
Yeah,
yeah, well-
more like a goddess, yeah.
I don't
A
mind.
goddess.
I don't mind.
Okay, all right, good.
Okay, move to approve the minutes for, what is it, June
23rd.
23rd.
I'll second that.
Okay. She'll go around then, get us.
All right, you know what? I just remembered
No.
that I'm taking minutes.
I'm
Hold on, stop.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. Stop.
Oh,
Stop. I forgot that I have to take minutes. So like caught up with all of this stuff we've been doing that I didn't,
Fortunately, we haven't done that much.
Oh,
other than
we have not, but I need to find the right document. So give me 1 second, please.
yes,
I need to find my Word doc.
And I don't vote anyway, Henry, because I wasn't there.
Okay,
okay.
so, okay, go ahead.
Okay, Geddes, aye. Carlton,
Aye.
Florinina. No,
Was she at the meeting?
oh, you were not the meeting, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't vote.
You know,
Janice,
it would be helpful, Henry, if we could do this in alphabetical order.
I
so
wasn't
that-
there.
sorry,
So I
okay.
can
All
keep
right.
track of this.
Let me see if I can do this alphabetically. All right, let's start with- we did start alphabetically. Okay. Yes, Greg comes first. Next, Mary Lou Conca.
Now, who seconded it?
You did.
Okay. Okay.
Aye.
Mary
Yeah.
Lou wasn't there.
Mm.
She was.
Oh, she was there. I'm
Well,
sorry. You were there.
But
Never mind.
yeah, the 7th I wasn't.
Okay.
You got that? Okay. Defon.
Aye.
And Janice was not there. Were you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. And you got Etzel.
No, she
Florina.
wasn't there.
I
She was
was
absent.
You were not there either. Okay. Done.
Leave you, Henry.
No, I get.
he eyed it.
Okay, should we go through the reports now?
Sure. Reports plural.
Yeah, we gotta go through them one at a time.
Yes.
Do people want to have some general discussion first?
Yeah, why don't we open it for discussion then?
I'd like to say that I think the reports are very detailed and incredibly well done.
Yeah, you pulled a lot of
And
information together.
Compliments to the writers.
Now, you guys said something about we're going to have to pull them apart because we have to vote separately on them. So they'll be issued separately, actually, rather than
Yes.
one document. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I had sent everybody drafts of each individual report.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw the combined one.
Yeah,
Did anybody get the combined ones?
I'm looking for it because I don't think I got, let me just check.
I've got.
I did it under reports. The heading was reports.
Yeah, I just opened it. Yeah.
Yep.
I should put it all in Google Drive.
Oh, it's probably in my other other email for Shutesbury that I can't access from here. I'm at work.
Okay.
So, okay.
Excuse me. Miriam, are you able to see the historical commission emails right now?
Not right this second, but I can look. Why?
Because I just opened it and it was blank. It said something that it could not do it. It just gave me this big blank form.
No, I got it.
And is it readable?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
I see it, Miriam. I got it. And I guess I wasn't looking for it because I saw the main report and I just didn't think about looking for it. Okay.
I just split them up
Yeah.
but they all have kind of the same introduction and the same recommendations. So
Mhm.
it's redundant. It's very repetitious, but I think that it just has to be that way. We
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
treat each project separately.
Well, shall we go through each one individually, one by one?
We'll go through the first one and then know that the others are
Okay.
the same.
Pretty much.
Can we vote on them as a whole?
No, we have to
No.
vote individually because I have to recuse. So
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So
We look at the PCR East report.
PCR East.
you could just pull it up and we could share it and you could discuss it.
Okay, let me do that then. I'm going to share.
Actually, could I make a recommendation, Henry?
Yeah.
Why don't we not share the PCR East because I really shouldn't.
You shouldn't be looking at it.
Well, I
Okay.
shouldn't be commenting on it. Could we open up one for which everybody can comment? Nobody's.
All right, okay.
please?
For instance,
Oh, because Miriam, that is the both Pratt Corner pieces are what you have to recuse yourself from voting on?
Oh, there's 3 on Pratt Corner. I only have to
Three.
recuse myself for 1.
God.
The East one, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. So let's do West then.
sure.
And I'll share it.
South is interesting. You open up South, it's interesting.
Well, I've opened West. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Believe me. All right.
Leslie, I feel like we could have used your help with this part of it. because a lot of this was going through the Macris database.
Okay. So here we go. I assume everyone's read at least the original version of it, and this is
Yes.
just dedicated to the West Pratt version. The introduction is the same.
Yeah.
Them. Any thoughts on anything to do with the introduction? Oops. Any questions? Any concerns?
No,
So can, no, I'll talk later. Never mind.
No, if you have a question, please go ahead.
Well, so this relates to the what's being expected before any kind of permitting, right?
This is the response that we're required to make to the what's it called?
The MHC.
The
To who?
So the bylaw.
the bylaw. You're right. This is our response to the project notification form. Correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, so there's been a project notification form from them?
Yes.
And where's that?
I have them with me. I haven't had a chance to scan them yet.
Okay. Oh, and who did they file them with?
MHC.
Oh. Did they, oh, well,
Great, thank you.
did they do that last time?
No. I don't know. I don't know if they did or not.
Okay.
Miriam, I would just say that I'm sorry I did not see the email that you sent me yesterday asking me to review it, and I've been trying to read it while you've been working, but not a very thorough review.
That's okay. Certainly speak up if there's any thoughts you have.
Thank you.
So the PNFs, the project notification forms that we got are a form that it's an MHC form, Mass Historical Commission form. And in the form, the applicant says that they do not believe there are any historical properties on this parcel. And then they list all the inventoried historic properties from the Macris database that are within 1 mile of the project area. So I really focused on the historic properties in the Macris database that were within 1 mile, and I went through and read them, read the inventory reports, the survey reports, and that's where I gleaned some of the information that I have in the report.
So it's a progress kind of. It's a preliminary assessment of what they've done, what they've submitted to the MHC.
Who's the they? I'm sorry, Henry.
The developer.
AMP.
They did?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
ASD, right?
Yeah.
Solar developer. So we got data reviewed. I mean, it's pretty much lays it out, where the sources of the information. And then it just goes into the particulars, responding to the PNF. Remind me, what does that stand for again?
Project notification form.
And there's quite a bit of detail. Right. Describing the topography as well as any historical or potential historical. Certainly the ones that are identified by the MHC.
I thought it was really interesting. I mean, reading about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's a quote from the letter from AMP, from
Mhm.
from Mass Historical,
Where's that? What page?
I'm showing it
page
to you.
6.
Can you?
Oh,
It's on the screen.
Oh, yes.
screen.
Yeah. I have to, that's my iPhone, so I have to make it
Oh,
bigger.
you can't read that.
Sorry. No, I
Uh,
can make it bigger.
It's page 6 if you have a hard copy. Page
Oh, yes,
6.
I have both. Page 6. Thank you. All right.
That's a very important quote, acknowledging that indeed things are out there. Things as in historical properties.
Oh, that's a really strong statement. The applicant indicates the site contains no historic properties, right? So that would be AMP saying that there's nothing there?
Mhm.
Hmm.
I was a little concerned about whether this sentence gets lost in this paragraph. It seems like it's important. The statement that this may not be correct, and I don't know if it should be hot, bold-faced or something. I don't know.
It's there. I saw it.
Oh,
I saw
wow.
it.
No, that's, wow.
Miriam, what about just
Right.
putting in an additional however? No,
Which
That's good.
statement
That's
are you questioning?
I don't know. It just highlights it a little more.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
let me try to get to the document. Hold
I
on.
think so, Miriam. That draws you, that like puts your attention more. Yeah, I would use that word.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe I spoke too soon.
I don't think so.
Are you talking about the quote?
No,
No.
here, this
Can't change the quote.
here.
Well, it's the first sentence. It kind of
The
grabs your
Yeah.
head because it's the first sentence.
The first sentence just says, the PNF lists 11 historic properties within 1 mile of the site based upon the Macros database, period. The applicant indicates the site contains no historic properties.
Oh, so you're kind of, that's like the intro into however.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I added the however, perhaps it could go,
In front of based.
it could introduce the second sentence.
Right.
It just,
Or the however, and however, based upon the information shared by local residents, blah, blah, blah.
I
That's
think this statement, however, may be incorrect.
No, that's bad grammar. I think the however is
Bad
fine. The however, you don't want to have with a long sentence like that, putting the
Oh.
however in there is going to be.
Grammar.
What about bold facing this statement may be incorrect?
Sure. Hell with the cost.
What?
To hell with the cost. Go for it.
Or just in
Right.
italics even.
Why not? It doesn't say no bold, right? Why not?
I just, it's an
Important.
important statement that I just
Very
feel like
important.
gets lost in all of it.
That's what stuck out to me when I first read the pieces, that particular phrase.
Yeah, that's so important, and yet it's.
yeah.
Why don't we just bold face that whole sentence?
Good idea.
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
Or italics. I like
Huh?
italics too.
Okay. All right. You want to move on?
Yeah. Mhm. And
So
then,
there's some figure 3. So it shows Pratt Corner Road in an 1871 map.
Wow.
yep.
And I added this little section here, scenic road resource area, because I was looking at like the master plan and they talk about, scenic roads being a resource area in Shutesbury. And it seems to me that we should comment on the fact that Montague Road and Pratt Corner Road are the two of the most scenic dirt roads.
Mhm. Although people usually, like the planners and all, I think they usually call them gravel roads rather than dirt. I
All
don't
right,
know
well,
why.
whatever.
Makes them sound a little more travelable, I guess.
More clean.
Yeah, whatever.
You don't want it to
They
be a
are.
dirt road. I think it's quainter with dirt. It is dirt, it washes away.
Yes, I agree. I know. I always get that when
This week, it's more like
dust
there's not-
or mud. Yeah, this week was mud, right?
And there's a tip of the hat to pre-European contact indigenous cultural resource. Pointing to the idea that it's likely, yes,
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah.
and then it just turns into summary and recommendations for all of
Okay.
them, the same thing.
Yeah, so why don't we go through the recommendations?
Let's do that.
On number 1, available historic records and field data suggests the evidence of, first,
Actually, it should be suggest. That's not,
yes,
that's
all right,
bad grammar.
There.
available, okay, so 2 things suggest
Let me get to the report.
of, can we put indigenous sites first and take out the word possible, and then indigenous sites, comma, or and, you don't need a comma if you put and, Euro-American in or near the ASD project area. Like why I think that because by saying possible, you downplay that they're there, because a lot of people know that they are there. And by putting them second, I don't know, it's just.
Well, we don't have the evidence here, Mary Lou.
Huh?
This
All we need is-
document has no evidence of that yet.
I know, but
This
isn't
is our
that what-
response- It's our response to their form, and we're saying all we need to do is suggest the possibility that there's stuff there, either
So then why,
Native American.
granted,
colonial.
granted, so then why aren't you saying evidence of possible Euro-American sites?
Because it's in the macros. That stuff is already in the macros. That's
I know. And aren't they
But,
yeah,
No, I mean, I agree in terms of why have possible in there when you already say suggest evidence. That in itself says possible. Possible, that's just kind of being redundant. Suggest evidence possible. Suggest evidence is saying it's possible. So why
Exactly.
say it twice? And the only reason I can go with what Mary Lou is saying is that indigenous were here before Euro Americans were. Right. So why not put that name first? Suggest evidence of indigenous and Euro-American sites in or near the ASD projects.
that's beautiful, Sal.
Okay.
So it's just flipping, taking possible out. But is that sentence a recommendation? It's kind of a
The
floating-
summary. No,
Summary.
these are
That's-
summary and recommendations, Zell.
Oh, this is, I can't see right here on this shared document. I can't
okay. Should I read it then?
see title.
Just scroll down a little bit, Henry, so you can see
Yeah,
the heading.
just let me see the heading.
Can you see it? Okay, there.
There we go.
Got it. Summary and recommendation. Cool.
Okay.
And
Staff
the
summary.
Maycrest people, maybe we can help them get it straight.
Yes, maybe, but not today.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
It's whatever. If you think that is not being a true statement by taking possible out, then go
It's
back.
fine. I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So second, Historical Commission concurs with the Massachusetts, the MHC and state archaeologists, there is a need for further investigations. Further investigations due to the scope of the proposed project.
Okay,
Pretty straightforward.
it seems
Yeah.
good.
And those are key recommendations up front. I'm not going to read all that text, but
We can read it.
but Mary Lou can. Is that correct?
I have it in paper too.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so I won't.
Well, maybe we should read it.
Huh?
Oh,
The proposed site borders already surveyed historic properties that have been deemed eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. Viewed within this context, historic structures related to these properties may survive in the form of cellar foundations, walls, millworks, wells, etc. Some portions of these tracts, I should say this tract, because it's this
Yep.
tract,
Yep.
may be eligible for inclusion in historic districts on the National Register. A thorough investigation is recommended to discern whether the forested tract contains additional structures related to these inventoried properties. Identified structures should be mapped and photographed. The Historical Commission recommends that the applicants share findings with the Planning Board, the Historical Commission, and the MHC. If possible, the Historical Commission recommends that historical structures be avoided during construction.
okay, so can we take out if possible? Because my as an individual, the recommendation is that I as an individual within the historical commission would recommend that these structures be avoided, period. They did do it in a small attempt at Wheelock, but I was at one of the meetings where the current owner was really not excited about allowing tribes access. So I at any rate, the word possible.
That the if possible, if we're going to use it, is in the wrong place. It should say the historical commission recommends that if possible, historical
Or that historical structures be avoided during construction where possible.
Why even where possible? Why qualify it?
Exactly.
Well, I guess my thought.
You're saying they can. I interpret that by saying, well, it's not possible. Boom. And
right.
just take it out.
I guess my thought had been that we don't necessarily have the authority to dictate this, so
No,
recognize
don't. We don't, but we're recommending. That's
We're making
the
a clear statement of recommendation.
Okay.
because you didn't say the historical commission says you have to. It says the historical recommend. So that's soft.
Right.
Yeah, all we can do is recommend, and that's clear from the use of the word.
Okay. Well,
Right.
that's fine.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay, it's 3.
Okay.
Okay. In February 2021, the Historical Commission received feedback from Bettina Washington, and there's her acronym. We spelled it out earlier in the report, about the likelihood of indigenous stone structures on forested tracts in Shutesbury. Ms. Washington advised the commission that her tribe wishes to conduct its own investigations of the solar sites. The landowner for the solar projects has informed the Historical Commission of the intent to work with Ceremonial Landscapes Research LLC and the TIPO for further investigations. The Historical Commission commends ASD and the landowner for seeking out Ms. Washington's input on this tract.
That's nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments on that one?
Great.
All right.
Then
Number-
5. The
No,
historic-
I do. Wait a minute. How come the word likelihood?
because Bettina wasn't going to say that there was anything there until she had investigated it.
Okay.
She's the authority after all.
And she hadn't investigated it yet. So she was non-committal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know when she's going out?
No.
Okay.
5, the Historical Commission recommends that ASD provide documentation to the Planning Board and the Historical Commission regarding any consultation with the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer or S about traditional cultural properties. As a minimum, we recommend the following documentation: copies of project notifications, notices to tribal representatives, written responses from tribal representatives, and a timeline of consultation steps and outcomes. If possible, the Historical Commission recommends that identified archaeological sites and traditional cultural properties be avoided during construction. I can take out the possible.
You take out the if possible, yeah.
Yes, good. That's good.
Yep.
6, the Historical Commission recommends that the applicants comply with all requirements for Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act. In communicating with any federal agencies about possible Section 106 processes, we recommend the applicants include this report, recent MHC correspondence, and the results of any investigations that may be conducted. The commission recommends that the involved federal agencies receive information about sites that may be eligible for the National Register of Historic Places.
Okay, I think after section 106, there could be a comma. I'm pretty sure there should be a comma.
Of Section 106 of, you mean?
No, each time you say section 106, comma, of the National Historic Preservation Act.
Okay.
And then section 106
I
again.
don't think you have to do that.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay, any comments about that one?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Number 7, the applicants identify US EPA National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permits as the only federal undertakings. The Historical Commission recommends that the applicants submit to the Planning Board and the Historical Commission documentation demonstrating that it has completed the US EPA screening process for Section 106. That's pretty straightforward.
yep.
Next one. Ground disturbance within, and help me out, Janice, if this is not right. Ground disturbance within wetland buffer zones and wetland stream crossings may fall under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers per the Clean Water Act and require a Massachusetts general permit. According to the US ACE, blah, 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 quote, and then the Historical Commission recommends that the applicants provide the Planning Board and Historical Commission with documentation of a completed US ACE pre-construction notification application if the project requires work within and near wetlands resource areas.
I think that sounds all right.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure about that.
Anybody question?
Number 9, in a June 11th, 21 letter to ASD, the MHC informed the applicant that due to the cumulative impacts generated by this project, an archaeological reconnaissance survey was required, as well as consultation with the Massachusetts Environmental Policy Act office to determine whether MEPA review was required. The Historical Commission recommends that the applicants provide the Planning Board and Historical Commission with the results of this archaeological survey and documentation of its consultation with MEPA officials. By the way, MEPA has its own requirements about historical preservation, just like Section 106 does. And I've tried to reach out. I've left messages and I've emailed MEPA to try to get more information, and they are not responding. But anyway, because I don't really know much about it, and nobody I've talked to knows anything about it. But I guess we'll learn if it's involved, right?
Would it be helpful for other commissioners to call this MEPA office?
No, I think you want to have one person so it's not confusing who, and they're probably understaffed and it's probably lost in an inbox. But if it becomes necessary, we can push on this more aggressively.
Okay.
Number 10, archaeology and the study of traditional cultural properties are not synonymous. Should the Planning Board decide to retain third-party reviewers using its MGL Chapter 44, Section 53G authority, The commission recommends that the planning board retain an archaeologist knowledgeable about New England archaeology and section 106 process. In addition, if traditional cultural properties are identified on these sites, the commission recommends that the planning board retain a ceremonial stone landscape expert, preferably indigenous, to review the data and mitigation plan. The historical commission is happy to recommend suitable consultants.
Okay, the word preferably, because my understanding is that a typo is the only the only person who can give this the only person who can review this data and give a true assessment. That has to be a typo.
Was there
So
a reason?
yeah, for us to say preferably, we're opening it up and we're saying, because last time I recall the planning board saying, oh, there's nothing there. We had this or that one go out and there's nothing there. When the argument was that just what I said, that a typo, is a Native American person who knows his history or
But
her.
Mary Lou, there already is a typo involved.
Exactly. So why
why would we ask the planning board to hire a second typo?
Well, why is the word preferably there? The person should be indigenous.
Well, if you can find somebody,
Couldn't it be Bettina? Couldn't it be the same person? I don't.
probably not. Probably not if she's been hired and working for the applicant. They probably couldn't. I just think that's creating a potentially complicated situation, Mary Lou, if we are pushing the planning board to hire a separate typo.
No, okay, so I'm saying.
I would imagine that Bettina would have a report and Bettina would testify at the public hearing, and so we would be hearing from her. But to have somebody who can be a cultural translator for the planning board to understand what Bettina is saying and why it's important.
Yeah. This is about hiring an archaeologist. Bettina's not an archaeologist.
Very good.
Yeah.
So by leaving the word preferably there, I think you open the door for them to hire any Tom, Dick, or Harry, and they'll do that.
Well,
and
there aren't that many. Yeah.
They'll pay them good, and then that person tells them what they want to hear. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, I just like to say that was one of the issues with the Wheelock tract, was that they refused to let an indigenous archaeologist who was there and ready to do it on, and would not allow them on the property. And I have to say, I can see that it's kind of the same thing as if possible, that if the wording, I don't see why you can't just say recommends that the planning board retain an indigenous ceremonial stone landscape expert.
Yeah,
because that's someone who is, they're not seeing a group of stones for the first time and then having to go do major research and see if it has any referencing and any other historical data. They've already immersed themselves in that type of.
Well, what if, for example, they came up with a researcher or an archaeologist who works, let's say, who works with NERA and who has been documenting CSLs and understands what they are? Would that be inappropriate? Because there's already an indigenous typo involved in this story. So do you want to have them hire another indigenous expert? And how would Bettina Washington feel about that?
Oh, we can't project and put her feelings in this whole story. Yeah.
I know, but you just said that we need to have a typo, and it's so important to have a typo. But I'm just saying, hiring a consultant, the important thing is that they be a good translator for the planning board.
So
let me say that. I think that. Let me just say that.
or Henry.
Yeah,
Go
may I
ahead.
speak here as chair?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, no, the thing is, you're not going to find an indigenous archaeologist. I mean, I could name, on one hand, I could name maybe one or two, you know, in Massachusetts or even in North New England. Now, somebody like Ray Gould might qualify, but
Or
is she,
Lucianne Levin,
yeah.
Okay.
but she's not
then-
necessarily a CSL expert.
No, she's not. And so, you know, it's, uh, yeah, I have no problem with the wording myself. It would be very difficult to find someone, precisely an indigenous person who does
Exactly.
this work here.
Quite okay.
Exactly.
Mary Lou, let me just respond. I think you can qualify it this way, that it has to do with ceremonial stone landscape expert, culturally sensitive to indigenous sites in Massachusetts. So has already culturally, has that kind of
Aware.
cultural,
Culturally
right?
aware.
Culturally aware, or something to indigenous sites. So you're not saying it has to be a banned indigenous person. I don't think you have to
I think
say
I think that we don't want to like box them in and then have them throw up their hands and say, there's no way we can possibly meet your requirements.
that. Right.
What if you just added an indigenous
Because
ceremonial?
in my opinion, a ceremonial stone landscape expert would be somebody who has to be culturally aware and culturally respectful.
Uh-huh.
You just put indigenous in front of ceremonial? And say retain an
Oh.
indigenous ceremonial
Well,
stone
then that's saying that the
landscape
person, that would be,
expert?
but that means the person has to be indigenous.
No,
it
it doesn't.
So, Miriam, because by saying the word recommends, we're recommending. That's all, and that's our recommendation, because they should be indigenous, especially if there's any money involved. That's my stand. If there's any money involved, it should go to an indigenous person. It should. Yeah.
But I think what Leslie was saying, which I think there's different ways you can take that. You can put indigenous ceremonial stone landscape expert, having
Yes.
to do it not saying that person has to be indigenous. It is a bunch of words kind of stacked up, so it could sound that way. So I think that the thing is, and I think you're saying that, but it's not clear. We feel like, oh, someone who's an expert in CSLs is going to be sensitive to indigenous sites, but are they? Are they mostly going to be Euro-centered? You could say with a centering in the cultural significance to the indigenous.
Okay, I mean, I'll put,
community.
how about if I can put in an indigenous ceremonial stone landscape expert? I just want to be aware, you guys, that we're trying to also be good partners with the TIPO. We've and
Yeah,
and
Miriam,
I don't want to set, I think we should be very cautious about creating a situation that might feel undermining her authority.
oh, you think that if you qualify this to have a cultural sensitivity, that we're saying she doesn't?
No, it's
I
saying,
think you're kind of saying we're going to have parallel points of view that may balance each other out, that they're going to both have the same point of view.
Well, no, I think what Miriam is
That's not
saying
what I'm
here
saying.
is quite, it's relevant.
Okay.
You know, there isn't necessarily agreement and harmony among TIPOs here. Okay, among
Oh,
people doing this kind of work. So there's a lot of turf.
there's a lot of turf issues.
Turf issues.
And
oh,
I
if you
just
have-
feel like,
No.
I just feel like this is a hot potato.
Yeah,
potentially.
no. We've gotten signals to this effect.
Okay.
And it really has to do with the history of marginalization, which indigenous peoples are fighting themselves.
How about if I say the planning board retained a culturally attuned? I like the word attuned. Attuned
Sure.
ceremonial stone landscape expert.
Oh, so you don't want to use the word indigenous.
I don't.
I feel very strong that the person should be of Native American heritage, especially if cash, especially if there's going to be money, regardless of any
Well,
thing
Mary
else
Lou,
that has
Mary
been
Lou,
discussed.
the
Wait a minute,
typos,
Miriam. We can't assume that there's conflict amongst a group of people and then act on that group of people to benefit white people. That's where I'm coming from. We can't make an
You must
assumption.
know something
Huh?
that we don't, Mary
What
Lou.
do I know? What do I know? Maybe, Henry, I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to make a statement. If there's going to be cash involved in this, which I'm sure there is, because consultation and archaeologists, that's how they make their living. And this town, and I pay taxes in this town.
How
And
many native archaeologists do you
Mary
know,
Lou, this
Mary
isn't
Lou?
your taxes paying for it. The developer pays for it.
the developer has to pay for it.
Right, it's
That's
not your
that's
money,
even
but the
better.
developer is already hiring a TIPO.
That's even better. So we want him to hire his buddy, but at any rate,
Wait a
Henry,
minute, are you, did you just
excuse me.
did you call Bettina Washington his buddy?
No, you want him to hire his buddy, the non-indigenous archaeologist.
Who are you
And
talking
Henry,
about?
I'm
I
sorry. The
I don't understand what
developer,
you're saying.
okay, Miriam, you just said the developer is going to pay for this consultation.
For the third party reviewers for the planning
Okay.
board. The planning board chooses their own
And
consultants.
are we talking about number 10? Are we still talking about number 10?
Yes.
Okay, so
Mary Lou, please just let me finish a sentence.
I know I never got to finish mine either.
I'm just trying to explain something.
Yes, and
The
you
plan-
said that you were confused and I was trying to answer
The
that.
planning board can hire its own third party consultants. It's paid for by the developer, not out of tax dollars. You're not paying for it.
Okay, thank
The
you for
third
that
party reviewers
clarification.
assist the planning board in interpreting and evaluating whatever is in the special permit.
The third party, and is that who you're talking about in this number 10?
Yes,
And
yes.
who is hiring them? The developer,
the planning board hires them.
the planning board, and who, okay, Miriam, and who pays?
The developer.
The developer. So this is what I'm saying. Do you want the developer?
But the
Who is
planning board
them?
chooses. It's the
One
planning board's
second.
choice.
1 second. Do you want the developer to be paying, or the planning board even? And look at them. They're all white men, mostly one white woman, to hire their buddy to say what they want said. Okay, that's one protest I have. The second I have is if any cash money is to be handed out here from anybody, okay, I don't care if it's my taxes or where it comes from, it should go to a Native American. It should go to a person of Native American heritage. Number one, Henry, you asked me, do I know any Native American archaeologists? No, personally, no, I don't. But I heard two names just mentioned in our conversation. So perhaps, I don't know, that helps this recommendation, because there are two that were just mentioned in this conversation out there. Yeah. The preferably indigenous, I don't know.
Okay, there are other people who would like to speak. Okay.
Thank you, Estelle. Right.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I really, Mary Lou, thank you for your passion about it. I really get how deeply you feel on this, and I feel also deeply. I think that isn't what report is about. It's not about who they hire or who they don't hire. I think that is more of a social justice stance that that you are
Correct.
right. And I don't really think this is the place for that social justice stance. What we have to report on and speak about is culturally sensitive sites, and we want them to do their due diligence on all of those culturally sensitive sites. We don't get to say who they hire or who they don't hire. We do want people to be. Look, already Bettina is in there, so we should be like, that's a happy point. So the other thing is we want them to be well informed and unbiased. Maybe unbiased is a good word, but we want people to really look and not to be, certainly what you're saying is not to be in the back pocket of someone. Go ahead, Greg. I'll stop.
Well, I think it's just the word preferably, right? If we take that out, our recommendation is that they get an Indigenous ceremonial landscape expert, and if they can't find an Indigenous one, they say, "Oh, sorry, we couldn't find one." If we had preferably in there, then we're not limiting it to Indigenous, because if we can't find an Indigenous expert, we'd rather have an expert review this.
So for example,
taking
And
it-
the last line is good
well,
too.
for example, and I'm not suggesting her, okay, I'm just throwing this out here, guys. If they were to hire someone like Lise McLaughlin, who's not Indigenous, but is passionate about preserving ceremonial stone landscapes and is an experienced field researcher, would you be okay with that?
I am.
I'm not.
Is there a way to sort of give preference to an Indigenous?
Well, that's why I said preferably.
Right.
It's sort of saying this is
Okay,
our
You're
preference.
right.
But if you can't get one or find one, then you got to find one who's an expert. And a genuine expert is going to be somebody who acknowledges they're real. An expert is not going to be somebody who's a wackadoo who, that's not an appropriate expert. So I think,
And by expert here, we're looking at, this is framed so that we're talking about an archaeologist. Is that
no, we're not.
okay? Because that's the
this
way it
report
reads.
as asking them to get two consultants, an archaeologist and a ceremonial stone landscape expert. Now, maybe they can find one person who captures both of those things, but because archaeology is not synonymous with traditional cultural properties, we're saying they need to have expertise in both areas.
But I guess I'm a little confused because the archaeology is popping up at least twice here as the qualifier.
Well, in the sentence says archaeology and the study of traditional cultural properties are not synonymous.
Yep.
Should the board decide to retain third-party reviewers, the commission recommends that the planning board retain an archaeologist. In addition, if traditional cultural properties are identified on these sites by Bettina, the commission recommends that the planning board retain a ceremonial stone landscape expert, preferably Indigenous, to review the data and mitigation plan.
Not necessarily an archaeologist.
No.
Okay.
Not necessarily
In addition,
archaeologists. I'm sorry, Henry, I didn't hear your question. Not necessarily an archaeologist?
Well, that's what Miriam is saying here. Yeah.
Okay, then why did you all ask me if I knew any Native American archaeologists?
That was me. I was reading it that way. I was a
oh,
little confused by that. Yeah.
Yes.
It could be a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I know what you're trying to say here. It's but it may get I got kind of thrown by it. I was thinking, oh, an archaeologist.
In addition, traditional culture.
in addition, if traditional
In
culture,
addition.
because the paragraph starts
c-
with saying these are
Yeah.
not synonymous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Miriam, can you say in addition, when the traditional cultural properties are identified?
I feel like
You
that's
can't say when?
presumptuous.
Oh,
I feel like
oh.
that's presumptuous. I think
Okay.
that we don't have the right to say that.
I thought that we already knew they were there. I thought we already knew they were there.
This is on the specific tract. Do we
Oh,
know?
okay, I see. Okay, so if are identified, the commission recommends, okay, so it's not going to be, it's going to go, oh,
How about if the planning board also, to make it clear, I'm talking about a second person,
Yeah,
a ceremonial stone landscape expert, preferably indigenous, to review the data.
yeah,
I
okay.
don't like the word preferably. I think you're giving them too much leeway to do what they want to do. And that, to me, from past experience, is going to be hiring one of their buddies to pay them big and do and say what they want them, what is expected of them to be said. That happened last time. Deacon said it. This person already told us there's nothing there. And I'm like, well, who is that person? And they just get mad at you. They don't, that was the end of them answering any questions. But at any rate,
Could
that's
I
where
just say, and I just want to remind everybody here that we need to remain impartial and we need to be flexible. We cannot, if we are being dictatorial and trying to box the planning board in, first of
I
all,
think-
we have no authority to do that.
sure.
And
by
we're
one-
likely to alienate them. And I don't think we want to alienate the planning board. I don't agree
Sure.
with the planning board, what you're saying about the planning board, Mary Lou.
That's all right.
And
Miriam.
I think that there's some very ethical people on the planning board. So
Cer-
I'm not comfortable with that being the reason why we're doing this paragraph, because we don't trust the
Certainly,
planning
that,
board.
that was a statement of my own experience. I'm not dictating anything. I'm asking for the word preferably to be taken out. I'm asking for, if there is money to be made in this situation, it not go to a white woman or a white man. That's what I'm saying. Euro-American man. That's all.
So
Could we vote? We've been going around in circles and I think we
Yeah.
need to wrap things up. Henry, I'd like to, let's just have a vote on this passage.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
So why don't we first just have a vote on the language as it stands, and then if that doesn't pass, then we can talk about the alternative language.
fine.
Okay?
So you're moving that?
I move that we accept passage, recommendation number 10 as written.
I'll second that motion.
okay. Go around alphabetically. I believe Mr. Carlton,
Aye.
Ms. Conca,
I guess I say nay
okay.
on number
Defunct.
2. Whoops, my phone fell, sorry.
Defunct,
Aye.
Florina,
Aye.
Geddes, aye.
Janice, did we get
Oh,
Janice?
Janice,
Huh.
Stone, sorry,
Aye.
yeah. Okay, motion passes then.
Okay. All right, should we move on?
Yep.
Number 11, the Historical Commission recommends that any data or reports about archaeological sites or traditional cultural properties remain non-public in a manner consistent with the policies of the MHC and the Shutesbury Historical Commission.
It's pretty straightforward.
Then number 12, is that okay with everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Then number 12. Once all necessary investigations have been completed, the commission recommends the following. A, submit all reports and documentation to the planning board and historical commission. B, hold joint site visits with the planning board and historical commission. C, review results of investigations and mitigation plans with the planning board and historical commission. If any investigations reveal sensitive archaeological or indigenous cultural sites, the reports and data should be reviewed in executive session and reports maintained as non-public. And then 13, upon reviewing the results of further investigations, the commission may provide further recommendations.
Good.
Could I ask
Yeah.
why the non-public? Is that something that shouldn't be revealed to the public?
The location of any cultural sites should not be revealed generally.
Oh, so that people don't go there and
Correct. And
Yeah,
take stuff. Got it. Got it. I remember that.
looking
that
for
conversation.
arrowheads, you know?
Right.
and disturb the sites.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to suggest is that we vote as a commission on this report.
Mhm.
And then what I think we can do to speed things up is I've highlighted in yellow all the changes that we agreed on, and I can migrate those over to the final documents. So we can just go and review, we can just vote on the reports, or we can just go through the reports if you want.
Or we can
Oh, let's vote.
so we can approve this with the changes we've discussed.
Yes.
That's great.
So this
Cool.
is PCR. So Miriam moves that we approve the Pratt Corner West report as amended.
I second. All in favor?
What you got to do a roll call, Henry.
I know.
Oh.
I was gonna say, starting with Greg Colton,
Aye.
Mary Lou Conca,
Nay.
Etzel Floridina,
Aye.
Miriam Devant,
Aye.
Janice Stone,
Aye.
Geddes, aye. Geddes, aye. Stone,
Aye.
okay.
Okay. Great. Should we go on to the other ones?
Yep.
Do you want to go through them the way we did, or how do you want to do them? Just to,
I would
Can
suggest,
Can you lead us through the parts where the reports are different?
Okay.
yeah,
Differ?
yeah.
I need to get myself a drink of water. So can you just give
Yeah.
me a second? I'll be right back.
Give me a second. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do the other reports differ from the PCR West?
each report has its own site description as separate, but the intro and the recommendations are the same. So I will migrate the changes that we approved into the final documents.
Mhm.
And the historical.
But the
who lived
historical,
there and stuff is
the
obviously
discussion
relevant.
about the sites, that site specific is different for each report.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys want to go over that or not.
Well, not the parts that we've changed. You will change
Yes.
the parts that. So and then that's the parts that are different. Well, the descriptions of the historical value of the parcel or potential, which is, I've read them and I have no problem with. Maybe let's do just, how about we do one, another one, Miriam, that you can discuss.
Yeah.
And you take us
Let's,
through.
yeah, let's go through Leverett West.
Lever West.
So I think that's an important one.
And
Okay.
yeah.
But Pratt South was the interesting one, or you
Well,
meant?
I think Leverett West is also interesting.
Oh, okay,
Henry, can you let me share it?
go ahead.
I do. Can I? You've got to
Oh,
undisable.
yes. Hold on a second.
That way, Miriam, you can make changes as
Yeah,
we're talking
that'd
about
be
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
still can't do it.
Yep. You got it.
I got it now.
Henry,
There I go.
you're sharing two at the moment because I'm still seeing your document.
Yeah. Let me. No, I'm not sharing anything at the moment.
Huh.
I don't,
I
Okay.
checked out of sharing.
Okay. I can share.
Uh,
I'm
Oh.
sharing. Henry, I'm sharing. I'm finding the report.
Sorry.
Just
got
give
it?
me a sec. Just give me a
Sorry,
sec.
I was looking at the actual Word document on my computer.
yeah.
Look, they look the same.
It's not
Yeah.
letting me. It's not
Funny
letting
that.
me. It's not letting me do Word. That's weird. I don't see Word as a choice. Okay, I'll just do my desktop. Okay. Is anything showing up here?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, I have to. Zoom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it's quit. Oh, come on. I don't want to quit. All right, Henry, you have to share it.
That's too bad. Because I've got you as co-host. It should be able
I
to do it.
know. I don't really understand why I can't just, let me try it one more time. Oh, here,
Yeah.
now it's working. Let me find the document, Leverett West. Okay.
Yeah. There it is. Yep.
There you go.
I don't see it. You guys are seeing it?
Yeah,
I'm not seeing it.
we see it.
Okay, let me find
And
it.
you
Here
see
it
the
is.
top
Okay.
2 inches and it's
Okay.
blank. There we go.
So I'll just go to the site description. So this is an interesting parcel because it's very close to Leverett Road. And if you look at the map here, can you see my cursor?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, these properties, you see these houses, a number of them are inventoried historical houses. And across the street, there's also, if I move down here, you'll see all these blue dots?
Mm-hmm.
Those are all data points from the MACRIS database of historic properties that have been documented. So there's like enormous quantities of historical records about who lived in these houses, what their economic activities were, who sold the house when, things like that. So it's really, for the Euro-American history, it's very rich. And if you look behind this, if you look behind these residential plots right now, there's this whole interior area where they want to put the solar projects, and it's bounded by this stream and then Roaring Brook. This is a tributary of Roaring Brook that connects over here on Penny Kim's property, goes under the road and goes into this wetland. And originally during the colonial period, right here, or here, it's not clear to me, was a pond and a millwork. It's hard to imagine that now, it's a wetland, but it was actually, it was dammed up, and there was a grist mill, and there was a sawmill, and there was a chair manufacturing operation.
Miriam, what does the yellow line represent?
The yellow line is, God knows, I think it's a watershed line or something. I
Okay.
don't remember.
Okay.
When I did this in Oliver, I don't know what that yellow line means.
Okay.
Penny, Leslie, do you have any comments? I mean, you know this stuff so well.
I believe that the mill site is over on, I can't point to, but you can, on the south side of the road where you see the funny shaped pond.
Right
And
here.
I was just assuming that the yellow was more to do with one of the underground tables, but I think that's
Oh,
wrong.
that's right. That might be
I
what
don't
it is.
know. I think it might be wrong. I don't know what yellow is.
So all along Roaring Brook, there were mills. There's a big mill site here. And I think that there were mill sites along Roaring Brook in here. So, you know, there were homesteads that were pretty large, and the historical documents suggest, you know, that properties were like 100 acres. So obviously, you know, those properties included these backlands in the interior. And so that's kind of what I call attention to in this, is that you know, it's important to look at these historic buildings, and then try to think about, well, you know, it says there was a mill. Where are the foundations of the mill? Where are the outbuildings or the foundations of barns, things like that?
What's funny is that I'm looking at the parcel 187, the one, the Penny Kim's property, I
Yeah.
guess. The power line crossing that crosses Montague Road and cuts off the top there. Leslie, is that the road that we can take in, and there's that really nice foundation, or is that up another one? I don't see a backland foundation, but there's a really nice one, actually, like a barn and a house and all, not too far in.
That would be on Cole's
Further
area
up.
that is open to the public. It's farther
right
up.
way
It's
over here.
across
Oh,
from
okay.
Richter. I don't know what their
Oh,
number
okay.
is.
All right. It's hard for me to
Besides
figure
that,
out.
it's not going to be where the solar project is, because it's
Right.
there.
Right.
Okay. All right. Good.
So, you know, there's no there. We're just kind of like, you know, just calling attention to this, these resource areas. And some information I pulled out of the reports that just discuss, you know, what some of the economic activities were, really with the idea being, you know, that, you know, that
It's not
it's
just,
worth looking at. It's
it's
worth
not
looking
insignificant woodland. It's not just woodland that has a history.
Right. Right. And, you know, for example, if you were ever going to try to get historic districts listed on the National Register of Historic Places, this area probably would qualify as a historic district because it was so densely settled, and had some unique characteristics. And any outbuildings or millworks might potentially be included in that listing.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So that's that. In terms of indigenous stuff, what I call attention to is that, again, Roaring Brook was important, and there's an indigenous pathway that served as the foundation of Lancaster Post Road, makes it a likely spot for possible Native American activities. The sandy deposits in the upland portions and its adjacent tracts have physical characteristics commonly found at upland burial sites. I think that Rolfe at some time may have had a concern that there could be a burial site up in that area. And that's all I can say about any of that.
So the summary and recommendations are identical in all 5 documents.
Yeah,
So we don't have to discuss that again.
no. So that's that. should I pull up a different report?
Should we
I
just
can-
vote on that one?
Let's vote on that one.
Let's
Let me
vote on
let me
that
get my note. Wait, let me get my minutes. All right, here we go. Okay, so PCR, no, this is Leverett Road. Do you want to make a motion?
I move that we approve report on Leverett. What's it called again? Leverett
West.
Leverett West. The
Seconded.
report on Leverett West.
Seconded.
Okay, let's go down the list then. Carlton,
Yay. Or yes, yay.
Conca.
Okay, so I just want to put this on record. If the wording there under that recommendation number 10 that y'all voted on and said okay, isn't changed to reflect that we are.
Mary Lou, when there's a vote, you
sorry,
can't have
Mary.
discussion. We can't have discussion during a roll call.
I'm sorry, so, okay.
You're out of order.
thanks. Yeah, I'm on what?
You're out of order. We can't have a discussion in the middle of a roll call. It's the rules, Robert's rules.
Oh, my goodness, and
You can vote.
You can
So the
vote.
question could happen later, just not right now, because we're trying to vote on this particular thing.
certainly, and I'm trying to explain why I'm voting no here forward. Thank you, Isel.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That was the nay, I guess, for Mary Lou.
That was a nay.
Yeah,
Yes.
and she wanted to explain why, but
Well,
maybe that can happen
that would
later.
be fine. Let's just get through the
Later.
vote.
Okay. Geddes. Florinina.
Yay.
Geddes. Aye. Defant.
Aye.
Did I call you already? Sorry, I'm
No.
totally out of order here. Janet Stone.
Aye.
Okay. All right.
So, Mary Lou, would you like to share what you wanted to tell us?
Yeah, I think I did. If this form of which I'm a member of in the front here says Shutesbury Historical Commission is going forward, but that number 10 not reflecting that we're serious about Native American heritage that I know personally is in this town being so recorded by anybody but a Native American it's not okay by me. So I would vote nay going forward on any of these documents. And I'm sorry, but that's just, me making.
May
point.
I remind you, Mary Lou, that we have a Native person, a TIPO to be precise, who is on board with this assessment. In fact, has more to do with the survey and the data collection than anything that the planning board could ever come up with.
Exactly, and that's really good. And I
Yeah.
heard that conversation going on, that person may be offended if this second review that we're asking for comes from a Native American person. I don't think we have any right to make assumptions on what anybody's going to feel or not feel. We can't assume that about any other human being, what they're going to feel or not feel. Yeah, so my stand is any work, and that's why I joined, and I made that clear. I was only an associate, that's what I'm doing on the Historical Commission, is to preserve its natural history, its native pre-colonial history. Yeah, Greg.
Yep.
I think that everybody on the commission wants that person to be a Native American. The reason that preferably remains in there is really in case they can't find a Native American cultural expert, which is unlikely because there are many, not archaeologists, Native American archaeologists, but there are several Native American experts on the cultural relevance of those stone structures. But to take out the preferably, it's really a matter of semantics, because I want what you want, Mary Lou, but I believe in taking out the preferably. You're hamstringing the planning board and also giving them a possible excuse of saying, no, we couldn't find someone under those circumstances, and so we won't do it. So I have no problem with your stand in terms of its moral stand. It's just a pretty pragmatic issue for me about what's going to work best. I want to see a Native American take that role too.
At any expense, at any.
Well, certainly at the expense of it not happening at all.
Oh,
Can
well,
I make I think
Yes.
I have a bridge. I
Yes,
think I have a
Giselle.
bridge suggestion.
Yes,
Here's my bridge suggestion, that at the end of that report, or every report, to say, have an extra letter or something somewhere that says, please find attached a list of recommended ceremonial landscape experts. Like, just attach a list, because it already said, we have those, it's on that number 10, but why not just say, please see attached? Attached is a list of suggested experts.
I think we can do that. I think it's a little premature to do it until we see what is going on, and we've had a chance to meet with, see what Bettina Washington finds and what her recommendations are. I mean, I think if it gets to the point where they actually are reviewing all this stuff and the planning board wants a consultant, then absolutely, I think we should give them a list, and we should vet that list and make sure that these people are actually interested, so that, something will be successful.
So you're speaking of it more in terms of strategy or timing.
Yeah, I just think that it's not the right time for it. There's not even a special permit application. They are so far away from thinking about hiring. And if you give it to them now, it's going to get lost, and they'll forget about it.
Okay, well, you're way, way more informed than I am on.
That's a
all
good
that.
idea. Good suggestion, though.
Yeah, I absolutely think we should do that.
Okay.
Okay. Any other? Yeah. Is there anything else on the agenda? I don't believe there is.
Well, we have to approve 3 more reports.
Yeah.
3 more reports.
Could we
vote on
just,
them.
why don't we, instead of opening them up, since we've already kind of agreed on the general,
Intro and outro.
yeah, could we just assume everybody's going to has reviewed those reports, and we can just vote on them?
I have.
I have.
Okay. So the
Okay.
next one, let's say, would be Montague Carver. And for this one, Janice, you have to recuse.
Correct. Yep.
So
Okay.
I move that we approve the Montague Carver report with the minor edits that we've already discussed. Second,
I'll second.
you want to do the roll call?
Roll call. Colton,
Aye.
Conca.
nay.
All right. Defunt,
Aye.
Florinina. Is that an aye? An aye for an aye.
Aye.
Geddes, aye. Stone,
Recuse.
recused.
You're abstaining.
Oh, abstain, whatever.
Okay, great. All right.
Okay.
So next one will be Pratt Corner East. And
And
I am abstaining from that one.
Okay. I move that we approve Pratt Corner East report.
I'll second it if nobody else will.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yep.
Getty's motion. Colton. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Greg, just second. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Going down the list. Colton,
Aye.
Conca,
Nay.
Default.
Abstain.
Florinina.
Aye.
Geddes. Aye. Stone.
Aye.
Passes.
Okay.
Next.
And then the last one is Pratt Corner South. And nobody has to recuse for that one.
Okay. Move that we approve the report on Pratt Corner South. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Janice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, going down the list. Carlton,
Aye.
Conca,
Nay.
Default,
Aye.
Florinina,
Aye.
Geddes, aye. Stone,
Aye.
done.
So is that all of them? That's 1, 2, 3,
Aye.
4, and we did Leverett Road.
Yep, second.
Yep.
We did that.
Let's see that one. Okay, maybe that was the first thing we did. Okay, great.
Did PCR first, West first.
Okay. All right.
Can we postpone the Southbrook discussion? I have to get off.
Yeah,
Get back to work.
I agree.
I don't know how people can sit this long.
Yeah.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
yes.
So
Second.
I'll send out these reports.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Aye.
Thanks.
All right, thanks all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Did you do the vote, Greg?
Oh, we have to have roll call to adjourn, Henry.
Oh, roll call to adjourn.
I know, I was
I
wondering.
move to adjourn.
Aye.
Greg,
I
are-
second.
Oh, hold on. You
Oh.
guys are going so fast. Who moved?
Geddes moves to adjourn.
Okay, and then everybody's saying aye. Okay,
Everybody
Second.
said aye.
Val did.
okay.
Val seconded.
Azell, are your cookies still up?
Yeah, but actually, they're probably going to get boxed up and taken to the highway department for all their hard work.
That's nice.
Oh.
Oh.
That was the original idea. So I
uh,
just made them. Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank
Night.
you.
Okay.
All right,
Go.
thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.